What's up guys, Matt from the Football Boots team, and today inside this bag I have got the very best top 10 boots specifically for kids. But which one is going to come out as number one? Let's find out. So kicking us off in at number 10 is the Adidas Nemesis 17.1. Now this is one of my own personal favourite models from Adidas. They cost about £100. So not the most expensive kids boot out there, because later in the list you're going to see some models which are significantly more expensive. Now of course the main headline player for Adidas with their Nemesis 17.1 is the main man Lionel Messi himself, who prefers the 17.1 over the more elite 17 Plus, which may feature later in the video. Now the big positives about the Nemesis 17.1 is that, as I said, they aren't overly expensive at £100. Alongside that, there's some seriously high quality materials and a lot of different ones as well. We've got agility knit, torsion tape, agility bandage and a dual lock collar, which makes for a very high performing boot, which does also bring us on to the slight negatives as well. Because they are so high performing, different types of bandage materials, they can just fit a little bit too snug and aggressive for some young players. Now if you guys don't want to spend £100 on the Nemesis 17.1, maybe your feet are growing quickly, then you can get some scaled down Nemesis as well. There's no Nemesis 17.2, but there are more affordable 17.3 and 17.4 options. Next up in at number 9, we have got the Nike High Venom Phantom 3DF Elites. Now the first thing to mention is that these are quite a bit more expensive than the previous Nemesis 17.1s, costing £155. So they're definitely more suited to those elite young players over the more social young footballers. Robert Lewandowski is the main player for the Phantom 3DS. Now these are one of my favourite boots as well in the market, and some of my favourite features is of course that Nike skin and flying it upper. It really is very soft and flexible, and also give you some nice grip on the ball as well. These are packed with technology. We've got pour-on pods inside the upper, fly-wire cables and of course a dynamic fit collar. So they're the main positives of the High Venom, alongside the overall quite cool looking design. Now there are some negatives as well. They are very expensive for £155, so for some kids they are just too expensive straight away. They've also got that dynamic fit collar, and for some young kids they can be quite tough to put on by themselves, and when we flip the boots over we can see that this time on the kids version of the Phantom 3DF Elites, they don't come with hyper-reactive technology. So if you guys don't want the elite version, unfortunately there's no pro model, but there is the Academy and also the Club. Into number 8, and this time we've got our second Adidas boot, the Predator 18.1s. And just like those previous Nemesis 17.1s, again cost £100, so pretty fairly priced. One of the main players for this boot is Manchester United's Nemanja Matic. Now some of my favourite things about the Pred 18.1 has to be that synthetic control skin upper. Super high quality, straight out of the box, soft and flexible. But once you break them in after several uses, that control skin becomes even softer and even more flexible. And of course they also feature laces, so you young players can also customise the fit, which the 18 Plus Predator can't. But that is the one slight negative. Although the control skin upper is very nice and very high quality, it just isn't the same supreme butterness as the 18 Plus Predator. Now if you guys don't want to spend £100 on the 18.1s, you can get the 18.3 or 18.4, but there's no 18.2 scaled down version. Number 7, and these are the boots you've all been waiting to see. The Nike Mercurial Superfly 6 Elites. Now just like those High Venoms, cost £155, so very expensive for young footballers. But of course are headlined by Cristiano Ronaldo. So many young footballers look up to and admire CR7, which is why they want his boots. But alongside that, the Superfly 6 Elites have lovely colourways, amazing designs and also packed full of tech, which is why they are so appealing to young footballers. But alongside that, they've also got a very nice sock-like fit because of those knitting materials Nike actually use, and in hand and on feet, they feel very lightweight, which is great for those smaller young footballers who don't want bulky, clumsy, heavy football boots weighing them down. Now the slight negatives are they are very expensive. £155 is no doubt about it. Asking your parents to pay for them, especially when your feet are growing fast, is a lot of money. And also the kids elite version is much more like the adults pro version. But going on to the other alternative models, if you are a fan of the Vapor, there's no Vapor 12 Elites for kids. There's only the Academy or the Club models, which is exactly the same for the Superflies. Number 6, and we've now got our second Nemesis model, but this time the Nemesis 17 Plus 360 Agilities. but these cost £50 more than the Nemesis 17.1s, costing £150. Roberto Firmino is the main player for the 17 Plus Nemesis, whereas Lionel Messi prefers the Nemesis 17.1s. Now, my favourite things about the kids Nemesis 17 Plus is that they're almost one for one with the expensive Elite Adults version. Quality materials, just like the 17.1. Agility knit, agility bandage, torsion tape, and also a dual lock collar. These are incredible. They fit very compressive, so very good for responsiveness. But that also brings me on to the slight negatives. First of all, they are expensive, and secondly, because that agility bandage is so compressive and snug fitting, they can just be too aggressive fitting for young footballers. If you don't want a 17 Plus, you guys can get the 17.1. There isn't a 17.2, but there is the Nemesis 17.3 or 17.4, which are much more affordable. We're at our halfway stage. Number 5, and also our third Nike boot, is the Magista Obra 2 Elite. Now, these cost £125, so actually £30 cheaper than those Superfly and also Hype Venom Elite models. Kevin De Bruyne is the main player for the Magista Obra 2 Elites, smashing it for Man City in the Premier League. Now, the best thing about the Obra 2 for kids is that they are exactly the same, one for one with the adults Obra 2 Elite. The collar, the upper, the technology, and even the sole plate, which is very rare, are exactly the same. But if you just hold on a couple of months, maybe Nike are gonna upgrade the Magista to the Obra 3, or maybe bring out a brand new generation. Now, there isn't an Obra 2 Pro, there's only the Academy or the Club variations if you want a scaled down version. Just missing out on our top 3 is the Nike Tiempo Legend 7 Elite, coming in at number 4. Now, the first thing to mention is that these boots are incredibly good value for money, costing just £90, which also makes them the cheapest boot in our entire top 10 list. Sergio Ramos is the main player to lace up in these boots, alongside some other world-class defenders. Now, my favourite thing about the Tiempo Legend 7 Elite is that premium K-leather upper. It's so soft and flexible, which also makes the boot very comfortable as well. Most of the boots we featured are all about performance, but the Legend 7 Elites are all about comfort with that high quality leather. Now, the only problems are, these are much more like the Adults Pro version rather than the Adults Elite version. And there's also no Pro for kids either, just academies or the clubs. Coming in at number 3 and taking our bronze position is the Adidas Predator 18 Plus. Now, these are actually a little bit cheaper than the Nemesis 17 Plus, costing £130, so £20 cheaper compared. So not bad value for money when you think about it. Paul Pogba is their main player for the Predator 18 Plus for Man United. Now, some of my favourite things about the Predator 18 Plus is what I mentioned when talking about the Predator 18.1. This control skin upper is so lovely to feel and also play in. It's so soft straight out of the box, just like butter, flexible, and also there's such a high level of grip as well. In terms of synthetic uppers, I think this might be my favourite from any boot on the market right now. And for a lot of kids, they want a cool product. And the Predator 18 Plus, with its no laces and collar, offer exactly that. Now, the slight negatives is that they are just still a little bit expensive at £130 for kids. That could just be too much, and that goes for parents as well. And also, because there's no laces, although it is cool, you young players can't customize the fit. But of course, you can get the 18.1 or the 18.3 or 18.4. Second place and silver medal. You guys might be a little bit surprised, but we have given it to the Puma Future 18.1s. Costing £120, so not bad value, and are worn by Atletico Madrid's Antoine Griezmann. Now, the great thing about these boots for kids is that they are exactly the same as the adults version. At £120, you really do want a good level product, and the Future 18.1s are the same for kids as the same for adults. I love the entire concept. With this new lacing system, I think it's very cool, and just like I mentioned with the Predator 18 Plus, kids want a cool product, and that's what the Futures are. The upper though is very good quality as well. Just like I said about the Predator 18 Plus, this synthetic upper is very grippy, very soft and flexible right out of the box, so very high quality overall. But for some kids, the lacing system might just be a little bit too difficult to actually grasp. So what I would suggest is do the laces up to the top and never really change them too much. But if you guys don't want the 18.1s, you can get the 18.3 or 18.4 if you want the Puma Futures at a more affordable price. But which boot is going to come in at number 1 and take our gold medal? Well, it's actually our 5th boot from Adidas, but this time it's the Adidas X 17 Plus Pure Speeds, costing £120. Not bad value for money, just like the Puma Future 18.1s. These boots are worn by Mo Salah for Liverpool, who is proving he is a true world-class footballer. So many things I love about these boots. These are actually my personal favourite boots from the 3 stripes. We did a video about which Adidas boots for you, and I picked these as number 1. The design, the colorways, the technology, the fit, the comfort, the upper materials, honestly, are some of the best around, which makes them the overall perfect boot. There's really no negatives about these at all, but if you guys don't want to spend £120 on the 17 Plus Pure Speed, you can get the 17.1, the 17.3, or the 17.4. So these boots, in our opinion, are the very best for kids. But what about you guys? You've seen 10 today. Which one would you actually get yourselves? Let us know in the comment section below. But guys, that's a wrap for the day. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Cheers.